I got asked to start pageantry, it would be 5 years ago now, and at that time my husband and I decided that we wanted to start our family. So we had decided to just prolong it and wait until after we had children, and maybe we thought to ourselves, maybe we'll start this up and this is a journey that we'll take together. And it has obviously been 5 years now. My son is 5 years old, and we decided to start this as me telling my story of adoption to other people. And that's kind of how I came out of my shell, telling everyone my story of adoption and how I had given my daughter up for adoption when I was 21 years old. And I used the Mrs. Dubuque County title that I had received from the Mrs. America pageant to kind of go around Eastern Iowa, tell my story, tell people exactly what had happened to me, and now I actually share my story with other young women that have been in the same or similar situations as me with being pregnant and not knowing what to do. So I've been working with Hillcrest Family Services, and they have given me names of people. They give my name out to people, and I just kind of help the young girls, and that's kind of how I used my Mrs. Dubuque County title to kind of get myself out there. I found out I was pregnant when I was 20 years old, and I was still in school at Capri College here in Dubuque, and I did not know what I was going to do. My parents and I decided to lay all of our options out and make sure that the option that I was choosing was going to be best for me and for my daughter. At the time, like I said, I was 20. I really didn't have a lot to me. I had more or less just put everything into school. So my parents and I decided that the best option for me was to do adoption. So ultimately, in the end, that's what we did. I had her on August 15th of 2006. She will be 10 this year. And it is an open adoption. The family knows exactly what's going on with the pageant. They know that I have won my Mrs. Iowa title, and they have followed my journey through Facebook, and I'm sure that they will continue to follow it through Facebook with the Mrs. Iowa pageant too. But it's something that a lot of people don't really hear about in Dubuque County. A lot of people just hear that there are services for this, but they don't hear people's stories behind it, knowing what they went through and how they went through it and certain things like that. And those are the types of things that I share with the girls that I help. So I think when I had heard about the pageantry 5 years ago, I was not ready to tell my story. Not that I was scared, but I was. And I decided to maybe wait and maybe self-reflect a lot more than what I have in before that 5 years. But now my husband and I decided that it was the perfect time, and we are glad that we did, because it's coming up on my daughter turning 10 now, and I think 10-year-olds like to ask questions, and I want her to know exactly who I am and where I stand and how I stand.